So I want to start off with just asking what the feedback has been so far. Is there anything that you guys think you would like to see more of? Are you enjoying the training? Are you getting something that you can actually use, or do you find that there's stuff that's you're not using yet? Feedback?
I'm loving the training. It's because a lot of stuff that I've been like reading, my personal development,
Yeah.
and you've gone like just a little bit further. So it's a lot of things I've heard before, some I haven't, and you're really reaffirming all that stuff. So it's been really good, and I've been listening to it. So I've been recording it, and then just in the background, like Linda and I were listening to just one of your chats the other day. I'm like, oh, you're picking up other things. So I highly recommend everyone do that. Mm-hmm. I've been sharing those on a Google Drive. I think we can maybe put that on the web page. Mm-hmm. And just like 10-minute clips. So you'd be speaking from a 40 minutes, so like 4 clips.
Yeah.
Right? It's fantastic.
That's great.
So
I really appreciate you doing that. And I really appreciate that it's helping you, because for me that's what I'm doing this for, because like for me to see you guys start to grow and prosper, that's why I'm doing this for. I'll be honest, I wish I could see more people who are in my particular downline here. And it's not a bad thing, but it goes to show, right, what I'm seeing is the fruit. Right? Because I'm giving you guys some tools and I'm seeing growth and acceleration in your businesses, right? And I'm seeing people who don't show up to the trainings and I'm seeing no growth. Why is that? Because you can't grow your business if you're not growing as a person. So, I'm a health coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a personal development guy who's here to give to you to help you grow. And if you're not using that, if you're not plugging in, if you don't have that interest, you're only going to grow your business as big as you grow yourself. The most successful people who I've been privileged to meet have just continued. They never stop. The development of self-development. And I'm going to quote Blaj here. He quoted somebody else with this little thing, but I'd like to start by just getting that little bit into your mind. Plant this little seed that we are very much like trees, right? And I loved when I heard this, when Blaj said this, because it's something that I've always thought about and it's something I've always felt, but he coined it so perfectly. He says, we're like trees. But the thing is, we grow to a certain height, whereas a tree just continues to grow for the rest of its life. It just continues to grow. But we reach 5'8", 5'5", 5'3", 5'10", 6 feet 2, 7 feet tall, whatever. And what happens is with most people is as they mature, they grow, and as they grow taller and get to their 20s and they reach their maximum height, it seems for a lot of people that that's where they stop growing as well on the inside. Right? But then there's people who make the choices to continue to learn, to continue to grow, and it's like on the inside that person continues to grow like a tree. And you could be talking to somebody and that person might be 5'5" and 5'5" on the inside. But you could be talking to someone who's 5'2" and they're 120 feet tall on the inside. Right? Because they continue to grow and develop and learn new things and immerse themselves in new things. Right? And if you're not growing, you're shrinking. Because you're only here, if you look at everything in nature, every single thing in nature continues to grow. Right? Like, lizards grow to the day that they die. Trees continue to grow. Plants continue, they're always blossoming. They're always new growth and new development. If something isn't growing and developing more, it starts to shrink and die. Right? Dogs become more companionship. Animals, they grow in different ways. Right? But everything's always growing until the day it's like an 80-year-old elephant is so much character. You ever study these things? They're magnificent. They're wise. They're smarter than people. I mean, the things that they can do and remember, and it's staggering, right? So everything in nature grows, but humans are the only ones that quite a lot of us just seem to stop at a certain point. Because of we've gone through these reasons, right? The addictions or negative people or negative relationships or being a victim, and I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that you guys are here because it shows that you're growing, right? You want to become more than you are now, and I think that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize is they don't realize that they have to grow, right? Maybe the ego is too developed in their mind and they think that I'm okay, I'm good enough right now. Sure, you are, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with anybody. But you need to always grow. You need to always develop yourself as a person. And so, you guys are here, and I'm seeing you guys' teams start to take off, right? And sometimes we have to have one-on-one chats, right? And if anybody here feels that there's something that's stopping them in their business, and anybody who's on the phone, same thing. If anybody feels like they're not growing, if they're not thriving, if there's something, then we need to have a one-on-one talk. You call me privately, and it'll be a confidential chat, and we'll get to the ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly in your life. We'll really figure out what your bullshit is, so we can get it out of the way, right? Because there's a lot of times where people have a lot of little problems, and they're just not honest with the crowd, but they can be real honest with me. Because I'll tell you the truth. I can take 3 seconds, I know what your problem is, okay? Nothing flies by my shit radar, okay? I see it all. And if you're not thriving, if you're not prospering, I'll call it out for you real direct, okay? I've been a personal trainer and health coach, and I'm very direct and very assertive with people. I've had to train people who make stupid amounts of money, okay? And what happens is, when that happens, sometimes they get a little pride, and they need somebody who can bring them down to reality and let them know the reality of what's going on in their lives, right? Because everybody always thinks that they're okay and that their crap don't stink. But sometimes you need to have somebody give you a little bit of an eye-opener on what's really going on, right? So if you've got people in your team and they're not growing and they're not thriving and they're not exploding their business, you get them on the phone with me, all right? I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to find out what it is. I'm going to talk to you and find out what it is. Alright? And I'm not going to judge you. I've done everything bad and everything wrong imaginable times 10 worse than anybody possibly could. I'm like Jordan Belfort, but younger and probably better looking. Okay? But I learned I didn't have to go to jail for 2 years. I learned, when I was earlier, later 20s, figured things out. Okay? But because I've had a life of experience and a life of excess and all these kinds of things, and I've done everything wrong in 16 ways from Sunday, I can see it real clear to me. You know what I mean? It's one of those gifts of making every mistake possible up to this point that I could possibly make. Okay? And so I'm not better than anybody. I've just done everything worse than most people, so I can figure things out with what's going on with you better than you can, and I'll call it and I'll tell you what's going on. Fair? So I want to open the floor today by asking you guys, a question. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
You might think it's the R, but it's really the C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Just.
Is that what it takes?
All right, guys. So I'm gonna turn the air conditioning on because I started sweating now. So.
Warm.
You know what my wife says about that? Now she's met you and so forth. She says you look dewy.
Dewy.
Yeah, because of the shower.
Oh. Yeah. That's awesome. That's great. I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
Awesome. Okay, so I want to recap on some things, and every single time I do a training, again, I don't know if you guys are following my posts on Facebook. I'm really starting to gain clarity on my own vision about helping other people with their vision, and I like to remind everybody about vision first and foremost before we get on to anything, because that's where we're going to start. That's your core, that's your power, that's your energy, it's your drive, it's your motivator, and the biggest question is, what the heck is it? Right? So last time we were talking about getting your life's vision and how it's going to help you motivate you, right? Jamie, are you a little more on point now?
Oh, yeah.
Dave, more on point, right? Beautiful person, I can't remember your name, sorry, one more time. Linda, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Are you on point?
Yeah.
Awesome. Luke's on point. I've had a chat with this guy. He is like fired up. This guy right here, he's got a vision and he's got a destiny ahead of him. And I've been talking to this guy. I'm very impressed with this young lad here. And he's got a lot of, and he's here. He's got a burning desire to learn. And he's just the kind of guy who I know is going to make anything happen that he wants, because he's very, very clear on what he wants, and we're going to help you make it even more clear. Okay? So your vision, right? What does it have to be? It has to be big. It has to be bigger than you. It has to be inclusive. You got to invite people into your vision, right? It's got to be something that is giving. It's got to be something that is helpful. It's got to be something that's going to give you purpose and fulfillment. It's got to be something that's going to mean something when you go. You got to have legacy, right? Now, how can Kangen and Magic be a vehicle that's going to feed that? Are you helping people when you get them a machine?
Yes.
Yes. Are you doing something good? Yes. Are you able to add value to other people's lives? Absolutely. Do you get to build great relationships in this business? Is it different now than when you thought it was going to be when you first got pitched it?
Yeah.
Now let me think about this. I sold you on a machine. I sold Hal on a machine. When Hal was sold on a machine, at the very beginning, he didn't have a vision. He was just like, I think I'm going to buy this machine. You know what I mean? He said it was good. Okay, I guess I'll buy it. You look scary. You know? George was like, he's my personal trainer. He kicked my ass. I'm going to have to do something. But no, then, you know what? Then he actually tasted the water. He tried the water. He had his own experience. He felt the water. Bought a machine because he knew it was a great decision for his life, for his health, for his future. Okay? So when you started off on this, you weren't super clear on a lot of stuff, right? And I don't know where everybody is and how new you are to the business, but the longer you stick with it, the more clear you're going to be and exactly how this can help you get. Because what happens is, when the first, and it depends how much rapport the person built with you when they sold you a machine, okay? Lodge got you on board, right, Jamie?
Yeah.
Right? At the beginning, you guys are sales guys, so you guys probably had somewhat fairly good rapport, but you know, when you sell something to somebody, or you get someone to buy a machine, at the beginning, they're not 100% on point, right? They're like 10%. And the fact that they bought a machine when they're only 10% clear on what something is an amazing thing. And I want you guys to really realize that every single person who you sold a machine to, every single person who's bought a machine, they weren't 100%. They didn't understand what we see. They didn't have vision. They didn't have clarity. It was new information to them. They were like maybe 20% at best. Even Balaj and I, I'm sure. Okay? Even they, like, you got sold, you got the idea, but you didn't know about the structure of things and how it was actually going to lay out. You didn't realize the relationships and the friendships and the things that it was going to build for you because it was a brand new thing for you, right? So when you're getting people into the business, it's really important to understand where they're at right now at this point, right? They're not where you are, but you were once where they were. Okay? So when you understand that, what's going to happen is you can help expedite the process, right? So I'm trying to do my best to expedite your process to help you have absolute crystal clear vision because that's what's going to move you forward. Jamie has a very crystal clear vision. Dave has a very crystal clear vision, right? It might not be super crystal clear as much as it could be, but it's good enough that you're moving forward. You sell machines, you're moving stuff, right? Your business is growing. And at the beginning, you came on, you sold a few machines. Did you hit a dead spot for a little while?
For sure.
Did you hit a dead spot for a little while?
100%.
Right? Hit a dead spot for a little while? Why is that not happening? Right? It happens to me too. I mean, I'm not like, you know.
Loss of vision.
Loss of vision, right? Loss of drive, loss of motivation, something else, right? So if you consider your vision this bubble, okay, and another thought starts to come up, something else, right? It could be one of those negative relationships, an addiction, or, you know, being a victim, or just poorly spent time. And it comes up and it starts trying to invade on that bubble. You can't see it crystal clear anymore. It's warped, okay? Because something else is pressing up against it. So you got to make sure that you make total room, and your vision has to be absolutely crystal clear. And that's why you keep the energy around it, right? You got to keep sharpening your steel. You got to keep, keep mowing the lawn. Anyway.
Mowing the lawn. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, just gotta keep cutting the grass.
When shit hits the fan, just keep mowing the lawn.
You know, I'm just, this is nothing scripted, so, as you can tell.
That's the beauty of it.
So, oh, my voice instantly better. So yeah, I want you guys to understand that where you're talking to people, where they're at right now. I had a meeting last night, okay, a presentation I did for someone who I firmly believe needs this water. It'll be a huge benefit for that family. But I had to overcome some skepticism, not skepticism, but just doubts and all that kind of stuff. So I had to spend a lot of time building rapport. And as I was spending the time building rapport, what I was doing was I was periodically sharing stories. Okay? Periodically sharing stories about what the water had done for other people. And my intent behind the stories was to help expedite the process. Okay, now this is something where I'm going to try to word this the right way. I want them to already see themselves drinking the water. Okay? And so I use parallel stories. Now, oftentimes, and this is a technique, okay? When you're in the process of building rapport, if I'm trying to help somebody who has, say, an addiction, okay? I start telling parallel stories about other people, but I don't use names. I just parallel stories about people that I know or situations that have happened that are identical to the situation that the person's going through, but they don't really know that I'm talking about that person. I'm using a parallel story. I'm creating a story about something, about, like say for example, if somebody is really addicted to pot or something, I'll create some stories about myself, because I used to smoke a lot of pot and I realized that it really slows the gears down. Okay? It makes you slow. Okay? And so it won't make you fast. Alright? So you're not going to accelerate your business if you're slow. Nobody's going to work with you. Alright? It's going to be harder for you. So what I did was I can create stories and I can talk about the excess. Right? I'm not an extremist. I'm not, don't do this, don't do that. I'm saying learn how to control yourself. Okay? About things. And so when I do a parallel story to somebody, I was talking to this person about the effects that other people that I know had experienced with this water. Okay? And then what I did was, and by the way, this is a great little technique that I just use when you're doing a demonstration for just a one-on-one. I really wanted them to see themselves drinking this water. And I talked about, the different levels of detoxification. I was like, well, here's the bottom line, the 8.5, the 9.0, and the 9.5. Alright, they asked me what the difference was. And it says, the reason that we have 3 different levels is because not everybody can start off at 9.5. It's a very electrically charged, level of water, which means that there's going to be more antioxidants in it, which means that the water is going to be more microclustered. I want you guys to pay attention when I'm talking right now, because right now you're all paying attention to me. Is everybody who you're talking to paying attention to you like you're paying attention to me? Paint stories. Be descriptive. Use body language. Get them interested in what you're saying. Make eye contact. Watch your body tonality and body language. Okay? Pay attention to that stuff. So, what I did was I'm talking about the different levels of water, and I'm saying, here at 8.5, if somebody's really toxic, because the microclustered molecules, they're going to get, at 9.5, they're going to get into your cells, and if they're too toxic, your body has not been hydrated enough yet in order to handle the amount of toxins that are going to get released into your body, and you're going to get detoxification symptoms like headaches or stuff like that. So if somebody's very toxic, you're going to start them off at 8.5 because it's not charged as much, there's not as much antioxidants, but you don't need the 9.5 yet. You just need to slowly trickle in the water, get your body hydrated enough that when you go to the 9.0 in a week or two, right, that now the molecules are clustered even smaller and there's more antioxidants. Now that water is going to start getting in a little bit more, but now you're more hydrated, right, because right now you're very dehydrated, so I can't give you the 9.5. Meanwhile, I've been making them drink the 9.5, okay? Just for the demonstration purposes, right? And now I'm helping them see a picture of, like the imagery, right, of themselves drinking this water. They're seeing like cells, getting toxins out. They're seeing themselves hydrate, right? And then I say, now when you're at the 9.5, it's getting stuff in and out so fast, you have to be hydrated before you can really handle getting this kind of water, because if you're too toxic, way too much crap's going to dump in, right? So you start here. Now, you've had, what, 2-3 glasses of the 9.5, how does it feel? How does it taste? How do you feel right now? You feel good? Okay. Well, this is where you're going to have to start, right? Do the 8.5. Watch this, guys. New discovery, okay? Fill up the 8.5. Alright? I give them the glass, and they taste the glass. They're going to taste a huge difference. Because you taste a big difference, because they're just drinking 2-3 glasses of the 9.5. They're already not going to drink other kind of water, right? And then they drink the 8.5, and it's heavier. You can actually feel it a little bit more. It's thicker in your mouth. It has a slightly different taste, right? It's not yucky. It's still better than any other water that they've had. But you feel the difference at that. Has anybody ever tried that with anybody? I did. Did it work?
No.
Yeah. Sure, that's George saying yes. Yeah. I did it last night. And then what I said was, you just became a water connoisseur. Use it, guys. It was magic. They were just like, wow. Because now, what I said after that was even better. So follow my along, right? I told them the description about the water, I'm helping them see themselves use this, I'm using some imagery, I'm talking about my hand movement going in the water and all this kind of stuff going on, okay? And then I give them the 8.5. It's real deal. You'll actually taste it. I think it's actually better than the tomato test, okay? Because I don't always have tomatoes, but you can just put the 8.5 and just give them a glass, and then they're going to drink it, and they're going to like, what? You just became a water connoisseur. Do you see the difference? Now you're going to drink your crappy water after this? Now you see the difference in the 3 different levels, okay? So when I say I can't start you off at the 9.5 yet, I got to start you off here, but soon you're going to be able to get back to the good stuff. It's going to take a couple weeks though, okay? But now you got a goal to strive for. Awesome. Okay? It was good. And I discovered that working with George and Lloyd when I was actually setting up their machine. Right? Now, at that time, Lori, she hadn't had a ton of the Kangen water, and she hadn't had it fresh. And when I did that, that was what sealed the deal. It was absolutely awesome. Set up a machine, tried the 9.5, a few glasses, well, it tastes pretty good. It's light. And I did the 8.5, and wow, I want to do it. Give me back the 9.5. Okay? So I hope that you guys use that. That's a tool you guys can use. Now, do you guys want me to break that back down again? Do you guys take enough notes? One more time? Break it down? Okay. Okay, good. You can move forward? Awesome. So that's parallel stories, okay? And so far we've covered anybody who's not progressing in your team. You don't tell them, hey, I want you to talk to Shane, because I think you have a problem.
You need to be fixed.
Just say, hey, you know what? Shane's really, really good at mentoring people and helping them get to the core of what might be holding them back or something like that. You should, he's open it to the team, I'll tell him maybe you guys can have a quick chat or something, for 20 minutes or something. Set that up. So, that's my gift to you guys. I would not use it, okay? Because when somebody figures out what's holding them back, and there's only those 3 things, I can promise you, then guess what? They'll move forward, okay? And I'm good at moving people forward. So use that, all right? If I got to do 100 phone calls, then that's fine. Our team's going to grow 100 times faster, okay? And when you learn the techniques, and Jamie's had a little bit of mentoring as well, and what's going to end up happening is he'll be able to do that kind of stuff. I've given him some keys and some insight. You learn a lot through experience, okay? So that you'll learn over time, a lot of things, right? So anyways, moving forward, that was vision, structure with parallel stories. Use that. You want to make the person feel involved in your story and help them see that they're already drinking the water, right? And yeah, that's that topic. Now, does anybody have any questions or anything that's been stumping them lately? Do you mind a question or two?
What's quickly right now is the 3 things that might be holding someone back.
Oh, the 3 things. Okay, the 3 things that might be holding people back. number one is addictions. Could be alcohol, could be drugs, could be too much sex, could be gambling, could be
Work.
social media.
TV.
No, work's not an addiction, but it could be TV. It could be, you know, a variety of things that occupy the mind too much. Could be puzzles. Okay, it could be just sitting on their butt just doing nothing and scrolling through Facebook for 5 hours, not accomplishing anything, not actually using it for a tool like it's meant to be used. The second thing is negative people or a negative relationship, right? So again, you really got to watch your surroundings. You have to guard your heart. You have to be wise with who you run with, okay? Because if you fly with the crow, you get shot with the crows, or how did that whole saying go? If you fly with the crows, you're shot. Crows of a flock get shot. You guys know what I'm getting at, though, right? I hope I don't sound like an idiot.
Can I add something to that? Because I heard, from what I understand, it just resonates with me that supposedly you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with most of your life.
Absolutely. You're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most, right? And if you've got someone who doesn't believe in your vision, if you've got somebody in your life who doesn't believe, who challenges you all the time, who mocks you, or who occupies too much of your time, demanding all of your time, you got a negative relationship on your hands, gotta lose it. Okay? You gotta cut it out, distance yourself from the person. It's not always easy, but what are you really holding on to? What are you holding on to if you've got someone who's like that? Why? You don't owe them anything. Right? You don't owe anybody on this planet a thing. So why sacrifice yourself for someone else's selfishness? Right? And if you're in a negative relationship, well, that's obviously not fruitful. And everybody's had a bad relationship where you know, it's just the dumbest thing on the planet, you know what I mean? And you're not with the person, so what do you think about all the time you wasted? You know, yakking back and forth and texting back and forth, and you just don't waste your time. Okay, move on to someone who sees you for who you are. And then the third reason is victim of circumstance or being a victim, right? So you legitimately, there are victims of circumstance, but everybody can be an overcomer. Everybody can be a champion, right? The victim is a card that you choose to play, right? Not being accountable, right? Blaming other people, all that kind of stuff. So those are the 3 things that hold people back. When you overcome those 3 things, you can move mountains, right? Freedom. Absolutely. It's all about having the freedom, right? Don't attach yourself to things. Don't attach yourself to the outcomes of things. And that's another thing that happens, right? When people are new, you have to baby them. You have to nurture them. You have to help them every step of the way and make sure that you're there because, again, I'm going to quote Raj, when people start off, they're like soft like Jello, okay? And Jello can get ruptured easy. But then eventually, as time goes on, they harden into wood. But wood can still get scratched. But eventually, you harden into steel, and you can't break it, right? So that's just going to come by saying no. So what I would tell people at the beginning, and this is something that's a really effective tool, is say, listen, I want you to expect, like, you know, no's. I want you to get used to people saying no, because every single time somebody says no, I just want you to know that the most successful people have also had the most no's. And every single time somebody says no, you're closer to a yes. Because, and use examples. If you're new and you're sponsoring someone who's going to be new, you might not have the examples to story, but you could say, like Shane, Balaj, even guys who were mentoring our team, like Alex, all started off, they had a whole lot of people saying no. But now everybody that they talk to says yes. So there's a shift that happens, right? The difference is they just didn't quit after a couple of those. You got to harden people up because it's one of the most discouraging things. It's emotionally damaging when somebody says no to you first few times, right? And you got to make sure you have that support. They have to have that encouragement. They got to be like, it's okay. You didn't burn through all of your bridges. I thought I did at least 10 times. Okay? Everybody thinks when they're looking at their phone, they go like this, like looking, trying to call some people, but they're just scrolling, they're prejudging like 10 people a second, they're just scrolling through their phone, wondering who they're going to talk to, and you're just like, stop the phone, let's go. Right? That one. Okay? So, you know, and helping people get over the prejudging thing. So, has anybody here found a useful tool that's going to help them stop prejudging?
Blitz.
Phone blitz? Okay. You think that's, would you agree?
I'd agree with that, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Running your list to putting everybody on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting everybody on the list. Okay. Are you comfortable with calling anybody that you have on your phone right now? Are you? Are you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. So we found something that's very effective. Now you don't know what our phone blitzes is. For everyone who's watching, I just want you guys to understand, and everybody who's listening, a phone blitz is something that I want everybody to start doing. Okay? And a phone blitz is really simple. A phone blitz is you get your phone and you just start calling people and you start booking meetings. And how are you going to book a meeting? All right? Any volunteer? Want to tell me how it's done? What would you say? Come on. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Jamie's going to volunteer. Jamie, show me how you're going to call me up in a phone blitz. And you're going to speak up loud enough for the thing and you stand for the camera. How are you going to call me up in a phone blitz and get me to a meeting? Ring, ring.
Hey Shane, how you doing?
Hey, Jamie, how you doing? I'm doing
Good, good. Haven't talked to you in a while. What have you been up to lately?
Oh, man, just working out lots. You know, just been working hard.
Awesome. What are you doing for work?
Well, I'm building. I'm recycling lighters.
Awesome.
Yeah, sweet.
How long have you been doing that?
3 weeks.
Okay. Do you love it?
Not really.
No?
No, that's a good. But you know, I got a lot of things. I got a lot of other projects on the go. I'm working on Vaseline airplanes and stuff, and it's kind of neat.
That sounds awesome, man.
Yeah.
Is that what you plan on doing for the rest of your career, or you keep your options open?
You know, I'm. You know, I don't know. Why? What's up?
Well, I'm leading a global prosperity movement, and we're helping people overcome their health challenges, as well as create some wealth and some walk-away income from their jobs within 12 to 18 months. Really exciting. We just help people dream again.
Oh, okay. That sounds neat. What are we gonna dream about?
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
Listen, I gotta get off the phone. I gotta get off the phone. But hey, what are you doing Tuesday night at 7 o'clock?
Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I'm you know, I was gonna work on some architecture designs for my Vaseline airplanes. But,
Cool. So cancel
yeah.
that, and I want to introduce you to a guy. His name's Shane Carling. He's an elite health coach in Yaletown. And he does a success training every Tuesday night. It's really awesome for personal development. So I want to bring you over to that. You want to come?
Sure. Okay,
Awesome.
Awesome. Jamie, thanks. Guys, give Jamie a hand. Awesome. Creative. Okay. Another way to book a meeting would be to just call someone up. Hey, hey, Jamie, how's it going, bro? Listen, I'm a little bit of a rush right now, but I was just thinking about you, and you know, I've got a really cool project going on right now. And I wanted to sit down with you and run it by you. Are you free on Thursday at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah? Okay, cool. You're going to ask me what
What is it?
What is it? Well, listen, I don't have time to go over all the details. Like I said, I'm in a bit of a rush, but I promise I'm going to go over everything when I see you. Where's a good place to meet you? Can you meet me at the Starbucks on Granville in Georgia?
I can meet you at the one at Maine.
I mean, okay, great. I'll see you there.
All right. sounds
Awesome,
good.
buddy. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
So you can book a meeting like that. So how to book a meeting properly is actually just imply that you have a sense of urgency. Don't dally back and forth. Like, you don't want to sit there and chit chat forever. Give them maybe a minute, 30 seconds or whatever to catch up with them. If they say, hey, you know, you say, hey, how's it going? Let them talk for a second. You say, well, great, you know, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Or be careful with that. I mean, you always can get unexpected answers. But then what you're going to say is, well, listen, I'm in a bit of a rush right now, but you know what? I was just thinking about you, and I'm starting an amazing project right now. I'm working on this really cool thing, and I'd love to run it by you. I think this is something you'd be excited about too. Is there a time that we can? Are you available like Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah.
Sit down for a coffee. right?
Good.
And they say, well, what is it? Because they're always going to say, well, what is it? You say, I don't have time to go over the details. Promise you, it's going to be really exciting. It's in the health and wellness field. If you've got to throw it out there, right? And they're going to say, oh, okay, cool, right? Awesome. So book meetings, right? And if somebody's going to say no, that's fine. Call the next person, right? Guess what? You'd be really receptive. People are really receptive. And the other thing is, ask them how they're doing. If there's an opportunity, throw in a compliment. That sounds amazing. I'm really excited for you. But be genuine, okay? Because people like to have someone say something nice to them. And most people go their whole day with anybody saying anything nice to them.
Yeah.
So be the guy who says something nice. Offer a gift. Be the nice person who opens the door and says, "Hi, I'm just here, your friend, and I'm a very reasonable guy, and you're an awesome person, and I like what you're doing. I like your hair. I like your shirt." Offer someone a compliment.
The fact you're even thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you. I want to share this
Yeah,
with you.
that-
You're like,
you-
whoa,
Yeah.
awesome.
You know
What's
what? I
up?
got a friend who he calls me up all the time. Not all the time. He calls me up once every couple months, and he's always got a project to pitch me. But you know what? He always says, "You know what, man? I was thinking about you, and you were running through my mind, man, and I had to call you." And I actually, to be honest with you, I always get a little, I get excited when he calls me. Nobody else tells me that. So guess what? It means something to somebody when you tell them that. I was thinking about you. You're running through my mind today, and I just had to give you a phone call. We haven't chatted in a while. How's things? Well, that's great. Listen, I've been super busy. I've been working on a lot of projects. I've got something that's really exciting. I want to share it with you. I want to sit down. What you got time for coffee this week? Right? Well, book a meeting. So that's a blitz, guys. You do that for an hour straight. It takes you 30, 40, 50 seconds, a phone call, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3, maybe 4. But you just call 20 people at least, and you fill your week with meetings, okay? Now let me tell you about the average numbers. When I started, I closed maybe 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 30 people. Now I close like 7 or 8, sometimes 9 out of 10 people. So my odds have gotten better because my skills have increased. But it doesn't matter because at the beginning, it's a numbers game. If you pitch 30 people and you book 30 meetings, if you get a guy like myself or Blage to talk to these people, we will most likely close that person for you. Okay? So doing a phone blitz is a good way to build your business. Okay? And starting September, everybody here, I hope you guys are committed. Because in September, we're going to go for 90-day all-out massive action. Okay? And I'm going to go over a couple of things what that's going to look like. You're not going to be working with a huge team of people. You're going to be working by yourself on this. Okay? Because I hope that you are. Nobody else can hold you accountable for doing this. But this September, okay, you'll have all the support from myself. You'll have all the support from Blage. Okay, he's going to do it as well. But you need to realize that you got to just get on the phone and start booking meetings. If you need help doing presentations, talk to me, talk to Blage, learn how to do it now. Okay? I want you guys to learn this stuff right away because we're going to go hard. I want to make $50,000 in September. Okay? I can't do that if I'm doing a billion presentations for everybody all the time. No, I'm going to be locking down sales and building a team. Okay? I'm going to help in people who want it. I'm going to help in people who are running. Okay? But I'm not going to be spending my time helping the people who aren't running. I'm only running with the people who want to run. Okay? After we're done that, we're going to go back and help every single person build and build and build and build and coach and train, and then we're going to get the leaders ready and the people who are ready to run, and we're going to teach them to go and run. And those 90-day blasts are going to make this GPM huge because people are going to get the product regardless. The people who want to run are going to be champions because they're going to be, it's a duplicatable system, right? So you all out massive action, you try to get 20 people in your business in a month, okay? If it takes you 2 months, that's fine. If it takes you 3 months, that's fine. But all out massive action. There's recruiting, there's talking to lots of people, booking lots of meetings. That's the first 10 days. The next 10 days is where you're going to be following up with all those people, okay? And then the last 10 days of the month is where you're closing those people, okay? And then the beginning of the next month, you do it again. All right? So you get everybody you can. You book as many meetings as you can. You get on the phone and you fill the schedule. And you work really hard. Anytime that you have a minute. Listen, summer's over, guys. Enjoy the last few days. And then September, seriously, take this on like an actual job that's going to make you $1 million when you commit to 3 months of all-out massive action. Because it can. So how hard would you work for $1 million? If I said, hey, listen, you're going to work 12 hours a day right now till the end of the year, and at the end of the year, I'm going to give you $500,000. Would you do it?
Yep.
Okay, would you do it? Everybody on the phone, if I say I'm going to give you $500,000 and you're going to work 12 hours every single day, 7 days a week from now to the end of the year, will you do it?
Yeah.
So why aren't you? That's the question, guys. You can with this. You can. 100%. And guess what is going to happen? If you go all out massive action, and I'm talking every spare minute, don't go on dates. Don't go out. Stop being selfish. Don't think about yourself. Don't fulfill your needs. Don't worry about stuff. Okay? Actually sacrifice. You just said you would work 12 hours a day every single day for $500,000. That's like September, October, November, December. Okay? You guys all just said, yes, I would do that. If you're working 12-hour days for $500,000, do you have a life? No. You don't have a life. And I'm just making this real for you guys because you just committed. You just said, yes, I would do that. Okay? Whoa, 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 whoa. Aloha. You can actually get that $500,000 if you do this. You might get paid that $500,000 over the next year, over the next 2 years, but you just said you'd do it. You got to commit to it. You got to actually go all out. I'm talking first 10 days. Again, book meetings. Fill the first 10 days. Every day, every spare minute you're not working, early mornings, late nights, calling people, Facebooking people, booking meetings. The next 10 days, you're following up. The last 10 days, you're making sure you close. If you get to close people along the way, great. But get it done. And then you do the next month. And you go and you do it, and you go and you do it. And anytime you have an available space in your schedule, call somebody else and fill that time slot. You just said you'd work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for $500,000. What if that paid you $1 million? What if it paid you $2 million? Over the course of 2 years, if it paid you $2 million, that's worth more than $500,000. Okay? Fair? So it's called all out. 90 days, you're sprinting. And what happens is after that, you get to lay it off the gas because right then you're going 100%. 3 measly little months out of the whole 190 years that you get to live because you drink Kangen water. Okay? 3 stupid little months that don't mean anything. It's the fall. You know what I mean? And guess what's going to happen? After that, you're going to be coaching and training people, and you're running at 100% for 3 months, and then you get to run at 50 or 60% because now you're closing back to average. But now you're just dealing with the people that you got on board. You're helping those people. You're coaching those people. You're plugging them into the systems that are already in place. It's not hard, right? The system's here. This is not going. My Tuesdays happen. Okay, the Sunday night phone calls, those happen. Every other Saturday trainings, those happen. They're not going anywhere. We have systems in place. The Thursday meetings, they happen. Right? So when you guys realize what you can plug into, you just plug people into the system, and then you're training them again. Become a boss, become a leader, take it seriously. If you aren't ready to take it to that level, don't. Wait till you are. But you did just say you'd work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not even taking the Sabbath off. Okay? For $500,000 in 4 months. Well, okay? All of the richest multimillionaire income earners in this business, not just in Magic, but in all of network marketing, have all made their money by doing at least a 90-day sprint at some point in their career where they signed up 20 people who became the 20 people that bought them all of the money. Alex Arnold, I was listening to his audio CD, he became one of the highest guys in Excel. He only recruited 28 people, and those 28 people turned into over 100,000. And he made multiple millions of dollars from 28 people. Was it 28 people?
Yeah.
About 20, yeah. So if you guys get 20 people in a month, or even 10 or 15, and you get 20 people in a month, or the next month, or 10 or 15, and then 20 people in the next month, or 10 or 15, whatever, guess what? Your odds of making those multiple millions has substantially increased. Okay? I've personally signed up like 20 people. Okay? And I've made a 6-figure a year income. It's not stopping. My business isn't stopping, it's growing. Okay? So if that can happen, and if I stopped right now, George won't stop. If I stop right now, Hal won't stop. If I stop right now, you won't stop. You're not stopping, right? If Blanche stopped, you won't stop. You won't stop. You guys would be like, why the heck did you stop? But, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to stop. So I can't stop the machine. It's growing, okay? And if you get that momentum, you've said something. You've actually taken this on like a job. I hope you guys understand that there's power in that, right? So what you want to do right now, you got like 2 weeks, not even, you got basically a week and a half, is learn, prepare. It's pre-launch time. Put your party hats off and get your work hat on.
Zing.
Need water. And I'm talking actually set the time during your day. From 3 p.m. until 8:30 p.m., I'm on the phone nonstop. Okay? Like an actual office job. During any other time outside of that, you're going to be talking to people and making them do whatever you can. You're going to be looking for people, you're going to be building leads, you're going to be on Facebook, you're going to be booking meetings. Can you guys do that? If you can't, that's fine, but prepare yourself if you want to, because that all of massive action is going to launch you to the moon and back. Make sense? So I want you guys to realize what's going to happen. Like, we're just like, summer, let's get serious, okay? A lot of people are like this in the summer. Parties, all this kind of stuff. You know, they don't know how to moderate. Do you know what I mean? It's just, they go into beach mode. Come September, summer's over, party's gone, people are back to work. Okay? It's game on. People want to make money. And if you guys get the ball rolling right now in September, okay, then you can chill in December and go somewhere nice. Go to Playa del Carmen, go to Cancun, go and enjoy a week or two in Los Cabos or something, you know what I mean? Where? Cabo. Go there, you know what I mean? And then in January, your team's rocking and you've got a huge ball of momentum that's growing now, okay? And then you guys are going to do it, like plan another one for like March. Where you might not do it, but you're going to fire up your team and get everybody to do it. So the night thing.
Party destinations in Chicago.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing, right? So when you start building a big enough team, you can start organizing really cool events with the people who are finally reaching that financial stability where they can replace their income. Right? When you start getting people away from their job, that's a really cool feeling. That's a really cool, rewarding thing when you finally help somebody break free of the financial restraints and help get them into a life of faith and excitement and enthusiasm and rocking their kingdom business. Because when you start doing this, like Blaj is full time, like I am, it just starts to grow. You know what I mean? When you let go of the little thing, whatever you're hanging on to, and you just do this, you're up against the back, your back's up against a wall in a hard place. You're between a rock and a hard place. You have to grow. You have to thrive. You have to, you know what I mean? And guess what's going to make that grow between a rock and a hard place? Kangen water, 9.5. Okay, guys. So I think that's like an hour almost. Oh, let's go a little more time. Yeah. So recap. You guys took some good notes. I want you guys to.
Can't grow your business if you're not growing yourself.
Yep.
We're like trees, except trees keep growing and we stop growing, especially in the inside. Vision has to be bigger than you, including being inclusive of others, purpose, fulfillment. Everyone that buys a machine has only 10% of the vision. Tell a parallel story. to bring your new people into reality. The 9.5, start them out, or give them a few glasses of 9.5, give them 8.5 to feel the heaviness.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. You know, Jamie's having a lot of success. He also takes a lot of notes. Right? When I listen to somebody talk, I take a lot of notes. My iPad is full of notes. When I went to Jordan Belfort, I pretty much typed out everything that he said. Okay? I was like, I can type really fast on my iPad. Okay? And if you're not recording something, if you're not taking notes, and good notes that you can follow, it's okay. Just learn that you need to learn how to take better notes. Okay? I used to suck at taking notes because my handwriting scribbles, so I discovered iPad. And it made everything okay. I couldn't read my own writing. And I mean, I'm like just the worst. So if you can't read your writing, type. If you aren't a reader, record and listen. Always plug in and then review. Okay, so it's very important to review your notes because it's just like following up. You need to follow up with your learning. Why? Because you're only going to learn 10% or 20% of what you see and hear. Okay, but you're going to learn like 90% of what you see, hear, and do. So I don't want you to just take what I'm saying and all the lessons from myself and Balaj. I actually want you guys to start sharing the teachings and the lessons and the stuff like that up to your team, to the people that you get an opportunity to, okay? And I want you to learn that you need to become a natural teacher, and it's the easiest thing, just share information that you've heard, okay? Your intent has to be for their good, right? There cannot be selfish intent in a teacher. It has to be genuine. You got to come from a genuine place, and I know that you're genuine people. So start teaching people, start helping people, start giving to people, okay? One of the reasons I do this is because it's making me a better coach, making me a better teacher, right? I would have never been able to, like 4 or 5 years ago, stand in front of a group of any more than like 1 or 2 people without wanting to absolutely vomit all over the place. If I can be that guy and do public speaking and speak in front of a room, so can you. If I can be the most nervous, shy guy in the back of the room and do speaking, and so can you. It's really, and just so you guys know, because I've been there and come from there and got to where I am now, I'm not anywhere special, and there's anything that I'm doing that you can't do, right? It's simply a matter of don't quit, continue to do it, and actually take on your fears, okay? And I'm going to leave you guys with a little thing here. When I was younger, I realized now looking back that I was absolutely full of fear. I was scared of people. I was scared of heights. I was scared of girls. I was, because I was a very shy guy, and people made fun of me in school, and I was very skinny, and I had I was very socially awkward. I had a very hard time even communicating with people. Okay. When I grew up, I grew up. And a lot of people, I got picked on and ridiculed and bullied. So my parents told me I wasn't good enough. They said I couldn't do this. My brother and my sister, we always fought. I went to school and everybody picked on me and they said, "You're not good enough. You can't do anything." My teachers always pulled me aside and said, "Shane, you're like the stupidest kid in the class." I mean, I actually had teachers who were brutal. Okay, so I grew up with this belief system that I couldn't, and that I was less than every single person, that I would never achieve anything, and that everybody was outside looking in. I was outside looking in. Okay, that was taught. That's what I would say. That was life. All right, a child learning that stuff. That's what I was indoctrinated with. Was you can't achieve a single thing. You're not good enough. My dad would always say, let me take you'll never figure it out. Let me just do it for you. Oh, you know what I mean? Not hating on anybody, because people are often very unaware of what they're saying and what they're doing and how it affects other people, right? You're often unaware of the impression that the things that you're doing and saying and thinking can leave on young minds, okay? But if I can overcome all of that negative belief system, okay? And I made every single mistake possible in the world, right? What was it that changed? What was it that helped me overcome all of those things from being told I can't, and from really believing that I can't, into believing that I can, and how can I, and having vision and clarity? What was it? Well, I'll tell you what it is, right? Sometimes you gotta hit rock bottom in your life before you realize that you could have everything, And sometimes you have to have one of those little eureka God moments in your life before you realize that you're beyond what other people tell you. You're only going to be limited to the amount that you allow other people to limit you. But you're not limited in any way, shape, or form. Right? And I started confronting my fears. So I had fear heights. Why? Because I found out why. I used to wake up in the middle of the night like I fell on my mattress. I felt like I'd fall. I'd get to a cliff into my dream, and I'd fall, and I boom, woke up. It was like I fell 4 feet off. It was like somebody picked me up and dropped me on bed. I had this crazy fear heights. I'd stand on a stair ledge, and I'd get butterflies in my stomach. Get total fear heights. I found out later that my mom told me that my grandpa was going like this watching the news when I was 2 years old. Tossed me up and down, ooh, and then something crazy came on the news and he forgot to catch me and drop me on the ground. So I'm assuming that's probably why I had this crazy, crazy fear of heights. It probably was a subconscious thing brought on from when I was 2 years old and dropped from like, who knows, he probably threw me like 6 feet in the air and fell on the ground. Mom said it fell right on my head. Explains a few things. Okay? But I got a job as a roofer. Confronted my fear head on. When I realized that I had a social fear, a fear of rejection, fear of people, I got into acting and sales. I had to take it head on. So if there's something that, and this is your personal journey in life, if there's something that's holding you back, if there's a fear somewhere, take it on. If you got a fear of heights, don't go skydiving because that's a little ridiculous, but do something that's going to be safe. That'll help you get over your fear of heights. So go stand on the top of a building, with a harness on, or go up to the tallest tower and stand right in front of the window. You know what I mean? And just like look down and force yourself to get over your fears, because all fear is undeveloped energy. It's fuel, right? It's energy, but it's not logical. Okay? Fear is based on not having, of being rejected, all these things that we don't want. But it's fear is fake. It's not real. What is it? There's an acronym for fear: false evidence appearing real, and it absolutely is that. And a lot of times when I'm talking about a 90-day blitz, well, guess what happens? People look at their phone and they go like this, and they scroll, 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 and they don't want to just hit the call button because of fear. Take it on. When you overcome that fear, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be a lot more able to communicate with people. You're going to be a lot more connected with people. You're going to be able to overcome a few things and model and mentor under people. So surround yourself with people who have a natural ability to communicate with other people freely. Okay? I always make sure I've got at least a couple friends in my life who are just natural people who can just go up to anybody and just have an awesome conversation and everybody's on the up and up. Okay? And there's ways that you guys can overcome that by learning that you have to synchronize with people, you have to harmonize with those people, you have to build rapport with somebody, right? You have to match and pace, you have to pace and lead. Okay, there's structure to building proper rapport with people, and when you become conscious or unconsciously competent of doing this, okay, it'll just happen naturally. But you got to immerse yourself with people and mentors. So find people who are doing the things that you fear the most and are doing it well, and bring those people into your life. You can pick and choose. Okay? The world is your smorgasbord. Okay? And there's 7 billion people out there. So start attracting the people into your life that can do the things that are overcoming the fears that you have that are holding you back in your life. Make sense? Mm-hmm. And trust me, they're all over the place. Your mentors await you. But don't follow the guru. A guru is somebody who is very extreme in what they... No, stay away from the gurus, okay? I followed a few gurus and... Oh, inside joke. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Shane.